Hi. Hello, people. Okay, got some new, well, something to share because, we're going through it. We're all going through it. So I can give you kind of a heads up of what I'm going through. So if you haven't had yours yet, you know what to expect. But as you know, on the planet, this is huge energies that came in, like May, June, and they're ramping up. So as I said before they started, this was big expansion. This was a big shift. Felt like liberation. The energies. Well, as we can see what's happening on the planet, all the deepest, darkest secrets will come out, right? Things that you don't want, like you've been hiding in your closet, you don't want to look at. But what you forget about is it's going to come out of you as well, that you're not even aware of. And often people just see this life. But you have characteristics that you have carried through many, many lifetimes that you don't aware of as a pattern. So I mentioned quickly, I made a short video on my TikTok page about past life regressions. Yeah, any of you have been through those, you kind of got an idea. Well, what we forget is that there's actually a subtle things underlying. What you do is you look at the past life and you look at that life. You look at what happened, oh, well, there we are, and you're not you're not tying the things together. There's characteristics, all right, you mind, that you carry through. So whether it's ego, whether it's arrogance, whether it's pride, whether it's anger, violence, victimhood, whatever. And also there's such a thing as karma, right? What you do comes back to you. So I'm sure a lot of you have realized, and you've got to accept that, that maybe whatever happened to you in this lifetime was your karma being dished up, because what we do, energy we give off, or it comes back. So whether you say law of attraction or karma, same thing, right? But there's a bit more to it for you to be able to stop repeating, having the same things go over. Because if you don't change yourself, you won't realize you're repeating the same things. Wow. I had some major revelations. And also a lot of people, I see that in the awakening movement, especially when you first wake up. Because you first wake up to your light. Then you wake up to all these, what you want to call the dark, nasty things. But what we don't realize, and I've had the regressions as well, and when I now, with this insight and some of the things I've been guided to watch, like Buddhism, it's deep, as I said. When you go up in the different astrals, you realize everything is not quite what you thought it was when you do your astrals and your projection. You do all these realms and ET realms and whatever. It's not quite what you think. There's more to it, actually. There's subtle things you're missing. So a lot of it's to do with you'll see, it's what you think, who you are, because everything's a reflection of what you are. So what came to me as well, and I see this actually now, I'm seeing it quite clearly outside with other people, and we don't realize we're doing it, is that you don't want to accept the darkness. See, a lot of people are fighting the darkness, only the light, they don't want to do that. Why? Or they don't have compassion. They lack compassion, empathy for anyone that that has done anything wrong or whatever, the judgment. What it is, people don't realize, you haven't accepted your darkness. You haven't wanted you. And I only want to look at the good lives. I don't want to look at my bad past lives and the things I did wrong. I'm good. I want to be good. That's nothing wrong with wanting to be good. But we got to admit and have a look, maybe, at our shadow. So, oh, okay. We remember what you resist or deny it won't release. So we won't, like, if you've seen some past lives that weren't good, oh, no, sort of, just ignore that past life, whatever. Man, I've shown some shit, and arrogance and pride. And you'll also see it. It's little hints I notice. People that everybody right, family you reincarnate with, because you resonated the same thing. There are things, and we all have attachments. I shared videos going more detail, like Buddha's explained to you, so to know thyself. It helps if you listen to some of those videos I shared. It'll give you a way to find your weak spots, what they are, and how to identify and look for them. Yeah, ego. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you got lots of fun going there. So when you look back and you're like, wow, and I look at the past life and you can see it was carried through this selfishness. Oh, there was one, arrogant, selfish, nasty, really. And I was like, and I was like, nah, because you didn't want to accept that you had, your dark side. And if you can't accept it and have love and compassion for yourself, you're not going to have that for others. So you can see, especially now, they dark, they this, they bad, they da. They're going to have some wake-up calls themselves. Because if you want to same with people that I think they've been victims. You cannot see, if you're ignoring your own darkness, you will not see it in others. Because remember, everything's a mirror. So if you wonder why people are doing things to me all the time, whatever else, you're a victim, or you're choosing that thing, it's because you're refusing to see your darkness. So it's the same thing, it's a reflection in the mirror. So you're not going to see any darkness in anyone else either. And we don't have love and compassion, we want to judge them. So even if you do, don't beat yourself up, because you know you've got these things. And I was like, ooh. But it's so nice when you realize it, when it's shown to you, because you can release it. And it's like, oh, people, we're doing some huge shifting and releasing. So that was so nice. You got to own up to your shit. So you got to own up and say, okay, yeah, wow, all right, yeah, okay, woo. I had some bad habits or bad things, you know, or you repeating. And I saw, not in everyone, obviously, but I saw in quite a few of my past life regression I went through, quite the same. Hi. Oh, it's fascinating what comes up. Shit. And I was listening to that thing I shared, that lady, one of her lectures, a Buddhist monk, and I was listening to this thing talking about this, and I'm thinking, ooh, and then it made me reflect on my past life. And then bingo, it was like the jackpot. And I looked at, then I saw my past lives in a whole different perspective, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's the pattern. And this pattern was in this life very strongly, but I didn't get where it was, you see. And then I was like, ew. And then you can see all, it makes even more sense of everybody that you had in your life, and why you drew, you know, all the lessons, and why you draw them to you. Because once you're awake now, you see the lessons. But I didn't, I was trying to identify, you know, where all these, you know, this person had that person, as within, so without. And if we cannot accept our darkness, and then have love and compassion, don't beat yourself up, and no judgment on yourself or feel pity party or outside. But it's such a release, because it dissolves. It's like, it completely dissolves. It's like you are released from it. Yeah, I mean, there's a massive, oh wow, massive shifts for you to be able to move forward and not have a difficult time or repeat the same things or go, you know, you want to break the karmic cycle or this pattern. And this is what we're going through now, all of this, and facing our own shadows and darkness. And then I see it so much in the outside, because everyone, they're this, and looking for the dark and refusing to accept them, and judging, and you know, that's it, because they do not want to see their own. It's like, ew. No. And then it also makes a lot of sense if you know people, and then you see, then this makes sense, because people just look at the past life. Oh, this happened, and I had a fight with that, and I was on the good side. Ooh, you know, it's fine. But they don't want to. There's many other past lives. There's a reason. So if you have many wars, and they're showing predominantly, then it's showing you that you have conflict. You like to fight. People think, oh, I'm a warrior. No. It's not always a good thing, people. There's aspects they're trying to show you, subtle aspects of, so maybe you like conflict. You see, arrogance, fighting, war. I'm arrogant. You know what I mean? I'm the better. That sort of power thing, control. We got to look carefully. And there's a lot of little things that we're not even aware we have in ourselves. And if once they come out, and it's so amazing, because then you can release it, and it's like, oh, you feel so. It's like a massive. It's a timeline thing again. You feel so light. It's so amazing. So I was looking. I mean, this is going much deeper now. So we've done many hearing in a past life, and hearing forgiveness, and I mean, those of you guys doing this one-pointed or transcendental meditation, you know, in your meditations, you can ask and you'll be shown. So yeah, you'll show past life, and you'll show you did this, and you did your forgivenesses for everybody you've hurt, but there's so many things, and these are deeper level, that you don't see. And I've had some big shifts in the last week. Bang, bang, bang. Some good ones. So you're going up notches and levels in the astrals, or in your development, or, you know, whatever energy and whatever you want to say. But it's also, you've got to know yourself. But these ones, I had no freaking clue. I saw some, and I've been really, and then it's also good, because then it also gives you self-confidence, and your self-worth will go up. Most of us, yeah. Yes. It is so subtle. You see, these things are characteristics. You'll be surprised. Ooh, okay, one is relationships or something. Ooh, there's a lot of past lives with relationships, heartbreak. So you repeat the same patterns. You don't realize a lot of your past lives, there's patterns in there. I was like, oh, wow, amazing. Yeah, so your self-worth and your self-love, because then you can fully just be happy with yourself. You're not going to want to hide your darkness, because a lot of us, no, we want to put the good side out. I'm light, I'm all light, you know. No. It's great, we can do nice things, but we don't. We want to hide the deepest, darkest, you know what I mean? We don't want to admit, wow, maybe, you know, we've all, this is the thing. You've been these things in past lives. I mean, you've had some horrendous, you know, endings in your past lives too. But there was a pattern in there, wow, that I really suffered in this life through. And now it came out, I was like, oh my gosh, wow, right, now we got that. That makes so much sense, yeah. Oh, really, yeah? Yeah. Well, there we are. But there's issues in there. Arrogance was one. Yeah, we've all, and you'd be surprised, people. You've been kings, you've been queens, you've been all kinds of things. Wow. And many different planets and things and beings and da. We know that. But it's the subtle things. And I was guided to listen to these Buddhist teachings, which is far more, because I mean, they have done centuries of meditation going into the mind. They call it the mind. Everyone in the moment is calling it consciousness. So let's say consciousness, because it isn't. When you think of the mind, you think it's attached to the brain. It's got nothing to do with the brain. And it's amazing. And I was like, oh, and I saw that as I was going up, I knew there was a bit more to the astrals than what we thought. So I knew it was more detailed. There's characteristics there. You could see ego, because it's to do with that. Because you know everything's a mirror. But it's so nice when you start working through these, and you know, next layer, and it comes out, and you're like, oh my gosh, I was such an arsehole. In the one life, I was a really nasty, wow. I was a nasty being in the one life, and I was like, no, we want to just, let's put that one away, you know. So selfish, arrogant, nasty bloody being. But that was a life I had, you know what I mean? Oh wow. Many. I mean, I've had lives as monks, as shamans, as as American Indian seers, as one of those Egyptian, you know, those beings with a dog head with a dog, yeah. You name it, and obviously aliens and But I mean, that's just only a few. But wow, did I have some good clearing people? Oh, hang on, we just get this off here. I had some good, yeah, wow, big shifts coming through, big revelations. So understand, there's clearing going on in deep levels, and this is why you're feeling so uncomfortable. Yeah, ego. Ugh. But it's to identify it. This is the thing, we don't, you know, it's difficult to identify it because you haven't done Buddhism, you haven't studied, I'm saying the blind. I made a video once and I said the blind leading the blind. Hi. So, you know, it's to identify the things, and you're so grateful, little bit by little bit, you know, and you're trying to figure out, what is it? And we're all light, I want to be light, I want to be love, I want to be light, and you're fighting. You cannot have compassion if you don't have it for yourself, because what you aren't being, you're not, as I say, we really got to grasp the fact that everything is a mirror, like literally, on all levels. So now I was thinking, okay, so if you can't have love and compassion for people, no matter what they've done, because you're not looking at all those things in yourself as well, you're not realizing you've done them all yourself, you see, and you haven't accepted all of that, and just, okay, you know what, there we are, and owning it, like, all right, wow, you know, and also determined to change it. It's like, you know, whatever habits we got, behavior habits, thinking, arrogance, pride, this, that, greed, fighting, conflict, whatever, warrior thing, whatever. We've all got our shit, huh? And we don't want to see where there's an issue with it. You know, and determined, like, and as I say, you know, as we're going through clearing, some of us will know it can we have a hard time, because then it'll come up even more. It's like testing you to see if you've got resolve to tell it to go, you know, bugger off, I'm not accepting this. Because you want to be, you know, you've got to overcome that. Whatever it is. Yeah. And then, of course, we got normal things like smoking, drinking, overeating, binge eating, you know, all these things. They're also very capable. We've got to just show a bit of strength as well, because you can't expect, you've got to, like, okay, now I'm going to do this. determination, consciousness, and don't doubt it as well. Ask for the help. But it's amazing. And I was thinking, ooh, say, can you imagine if this is coming out? I mean, because look at the energy on the planet. So we know there's been, it is a resolve. No, but I'm saying it's also building up. So whether it takes you 2 weeks and you're going to have this but then you're just going to say, no, that's it. I'm doing it. But you can, remember, if it's something like alcohol, food, and things like that, speak to your innate. Your inner being, your cellular structure is actually conscious. So you speak to it, ask, and it listens to what you're saying. If you don't like your body, you don't care about it, you don't listen to it, you can ask it to help you, like I did. I stopped smoking after 40 years, people, like that, with not a problem. For 2 weeks, I was like, I'm going to stop smoking. As though I kept saying it, like, affirming, I'm going to stop smoking, I'm going to stop smoking, yeah. But I didn't. But I was saying it because I was determined I was going to do it. And then nothing happened, and I was like, getting annoyed with this. So eventually I was like, right, now I want to stop. I asked them, and I meant it sincerely. See, it's intent. And I sat in the chair and I said, please. And I spoke, and I called in where you want to say your higher self, your inner being. I connected with my higher self, my inner being, and I said to my innate listeners, I know they're listening. I said, right, I want to stop smoking now. But I don't want to have any side effects. So I don't want to have any cravings. It's as though I never smoked. So I'm going to stop. And I don't want to know. I don't want to miss it. I want to craving this, start binge eating, to do this and that and whatever. And I really meant it, and I asked for that. Guess what? I was about to go and buy cigarettes, and then I got this thing. No, you stop smoking, like that inner voice. Because I knew it was going to happen. And then next minute I was just told, no, you stop smoking. And I was like, oh wow. And that was it. I didn't go. I had one shoe on. I never put the other one on. I was like, oh wow. Okay, I've stopped smoking, and that's it. I put it down. Guess what, people? I have till this day. It's like I never started, and I stopped twice before. I'd stopped smoking before, and you gain weight. Whole big rigmarole because I didn't know you had an innate, your smart body that could work with it. Work with your body; it will help you. But you got to do it. You might not have a night with 2 weeks of intention and ask and mean it. And you will be supported. I promise you, I stopped. I didn't even, my kids, let's see how long this lasts. Nothing. I don't miss it. I don't even think about it. It's as if I never smoked. It's the weirdest thing. What I asked for was given to me. So you can do this with food, with alcohol, with whatever, who knows, whatever issue you've got, right? Whatever addictive problem, whether it's eating, hurting yourself, You just got to have that knowledge to know you can do it. You've got a higher self, source, whatever you want to say, guides, you can use angels, you can ask for that help, but you're innate. Your body can control your chemistry, so it can do that it doesn't give you cravings. Ask. And that's what happened to me. It was like bingo. It was the easiest thing I've ever done. I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And I've never had any problems, not a thing. So letting you know that. So the same with all these things. We got to, now I'm going to do the nail thing. But we got to own up to our shit. That is probably one of the hardest things that everybody's going to do. And then you can have also love and compassion for everybody out there. All right, don't judge. You know not. See, and have sympathy for them, because you've got to understand they must have had people don't want to accept as well. If you've done some shit come your way, you've done some shit. You've got some nasty karma there. Or, you drew it yourself because it wouldn't come to you. So we've been through a hard time, like really, and people have been, we've got to know we must have done some shit to deserve it. We drew it to ourselves. But we have a chance now not to do it anymore. And, those thoughts, like they say, are so important. You've got to try and be aware of your thoughts, because your mind just goes. So you're not drawing any more to you. And then your mind starts and you say, no, bugger off. We've got to get control of it so it doesn't just run freely, and think shit. And then, shit happens to you and you're like, oh dear, why did that happen? Because your mind, has been out there. Old habits, the way we used to criticizing the world, we used to being negative, we used to talking badly about our government, we used to this, we used to that, you see. It's patterns. And how we see other people. Other people are selfish. We spew out. As I was saying, I shared those things, on my page. If you listen carefully, I shared those ones from about the Buddhist teachings. Now, most of us, unless you go and do this, you were not aware of these things. So now if you consciously get your mind intact and stop criticizing and being nasty, oh, that person's a bitch, oh, this is that, oh, they are, blah, 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 blah. Listen to it. You're spewing. What you're spewing out there, people, has a lot to do with what's inside, a lot of work, and you're gonna bring shit to you, that's all. See, because what you see in the world, that's what comes back to you. But it's work. So this is why, no wonder why we were feeling like, wow, it's been really tough, isn't it? Phew. And the energies and like, oh my, exhaustion, this and that. But when some of these things come through and you just love and accept all the past lives, the shitty ones that you were maybe not so nice. And trust me, I was a being you would not want to know. Ooh, wow. Ooh. I had a really, really mean past life. But I also had some shitty things happen to me. I'm not surprised. You were murdered many bad ways. Ooh. So we've done things and we've been good. You know what I mean? It's working your way up. You work your way through it. So the more you can do in this lifetime, be aware, clean up. But our thoughts, because they give off frequencies, and then your vibrations, you know what I mean? You tune your emotions. And that's, as the Buddhists say, and this is what they say, it's the mind. We've got to get control of our mind, which is our thoughts. Right. And that's why that mindfulness meditation or transcendental meditation, is a massive help. But then understand, if you're doing transcendental meditation, you're going to get obviously people that are doing it, your clairvoyance, and you're going to see other lives and no. So it's good to get yourself sorted out as you're going to see the things that maybe you don't want to see. No, but that's in your mind, you see, it's you. They've got, and they don't have an issue with it. They've got a woman as well. That's because you've got to work on you. Everything is perception or energy. Nothing's to do with the outside. That's how you're perceiving it. You see, why do you perceive it that way? You got to look at it. That's your self work. That's a good one, yeah. I know. Exactly. Ask for the help. A lot of people are saying, wow, they're feeling some dark energies, they're anxious, fear, this and that, because it was pushing up all our shit. It was going around, and I was digging into this, and I'm thinking, geez, there's a lot of collective, there's a lot of darkness in the collective, you could tap it, and like, ooh, I don't want that. So you can set intents to not allow it in, so we don't tap into it. We don't want to draw any of the collective shit, because there's a lot of narcissists being spewed out. I mean, it really is. It's being spewed out verbally as well, criticism and insults and this and that, and So yeah, we got to be careful, because we're going to create the world that we are, you see. And obviously I'm sure everybody wants a good time. They don't want to suffer, they don't want to be unhappy, they don't want pain, they don't want all kinds of problems. So they're going to stop seeing it, because if you believe that's how the world is, we've got to change our mind, and spewing it out and sending it out. We are the only ones creating a bad world and timeline for ourselves and the collective. But anyway, let's see. There's been a lot of shadow done work now, so that should shift the perspective, the collective as well, hopefully, because it's all been this and yeah. But I was amazed when I was seeing this, and I was like, wow, I saw I was like, but it feels so much better now, because we don't want to. We want to, no. We say so, and we don't want to accept ourselves. But remember, we forget we are source. We are part of source. We have to love and compassion for everything. For our own shit, for our own suffering, for our own darkness. And then we can love it and accept it. And we are able then to do that outside as well, you see, without judgment. Because we understand, wow, that was what we've been through ourselves. And the karma. I mean, I know for a fact, my sister, in this life, that was, that was karmic debt, because it was clear to me in one of my meditations. I was like, gee, what the heck was going on there? No, that was karmic debt. So, man, I must have been shit to her in a past life, because, wow, you know, whoa, did I get dished it out, you know? Are you welcome, darling? This is all it is. It's always with us. It's never outside. And if we have a bad experience, it's just our energy, and it's us. I know if I have a bad day, I'm thinking, okay, I manifested this. I must have been in a bit bad spot the last day or so. My energy was off or something. We got to own up, because we can't only own up to the good stuff. So yeah, anyway, I'm so glad we're going up. But you don't realize you've carried these traits and patterns, thoughts, beliefs, characteristics, whatever, through lifetimes. And I think, yeah. So, we know we have been, well, you call yourself victim. And then you look at some of my past lives and think, bloody hell, they didn't end well. You know what I mean? Or we bring it to ourselves because we things we've done, you see. Our behavior. We just didn't understand all this. Nope. Just energy coming in. I don't treat it any differently. Huge energies coming in. So it's clearing. So I say, woo, we're going to have fun. I share on my Facebook page, because on here you can't share like other people's videos or, you know, things that are worth watching. So I screenshot them now. Some of the videos that I think are really useful to people, I'll screenshot it and I'll put it on my TikTok page so they can look those up on YouTube. But on my Facebook page, I share a lot of the links. A lot of links to, you know, astrology, what's happening with the planetary, this, that. Anything that will be useful to people. Because there's many different people follow you at many different stages and different beliefs and different belief systems and different, you know, so they're all seeking something different. Because they have, you know, we all see things differently. As exactly, we're just a reflection. You know, there we are. We're different beings, we're driven differently, and we can change, we can choose. That's what I'm saying. Every now and then, okay, I want to be more like this, because that's what you're evolving as a soul. So what you do, it's who you be. So we can choose, you know what, I want to be more loving, I want to be more compassionate, I want to be more self-confident, whatever you want to experience in this, you know. And everyone's different, you see, depending on their growth and where they are. Yeah. Anyway, whoo. So yeah, when I look at this life and I'm thinking, wow, and it made so much sense as well, because I had some real bad choices in this lifetime. And that was, and it gave me a whole new perspective now as well. I'm thinking, because I really, is with like you would, how can I explain it? You would choose them. My intuition was very good. How's this? This is strange. Before I even woke up, my intuition was quite good. But I ignored it. So I'm saying, karma, you're going to get it. You're going to, you know, it's your chance, it's dish up time or lessons, right? So even though my intuition was good, I would make some bad personal choices, relationship choices, and you were like, ooh, it was like you purposely ignored it. And you know why? Because I wouldn't look at my own darkness, and I couldn't see the darkness in them. I was ignoring the darkness in them. I refused to see it. Why? Because I had been refusing to see mine. So people, yes, like wake up for anyone. Maybe this might help someone. Who knows? I don't know. You never know. Huh? But I found that very interesting. Because I'd refused to see mine. Guess what? I'm not seeing theirs. I kept picking these people. I was like, ooh, they're not nice people. You know, they had some real darkness. Why? Because you know, you get what you attract. It's a mirror reflection. I know. And then people say, hey, narcissist, I'm dating narcissist, be careful, no, be careful. You gotta look, people. We're gonna realize it's a mirror. I'm like, ew. You know what I mean? And people often say, oh, they're this, they're that, they're narcissist or whatever else, but it's you, because it's a reflection. So if you've got that in your life, something in them is in you as well. So I was ignoring these people's darkness, because I wouldn't see my own. I was ignoring my own darkness, so I couldn't see the darkness in them. I purposely no, I'm going to make it look nice. So you could maybe knew they weren't nice people, but no, it's fine. I'll make it nice. So whitewash it. Like you were whitewashing yours, right? So then you're trying to whitewash. Wow, it was an eye-opener for me. Oh my gosh. It made me look at things so differently. And then also remember, you feel empowered. Why? Because you know the power's in your hands. It's got nothing has to do with the external. Everything's to do with the internal. Everything. So that's why the Buddhists are so clever. Everything's to do with the mind. If you can control your thoughts and minds, like I think you're the creator, even Abraham Hicks tells you now, Bashar tells you this. It's kind of becoming mainstream, right? We've got to be aware of our thoughts because they trigger emotions and energies. But if we can see our patterns and bad behavior and understand everything's a mirror. But this I didn't. You see, to the extent we're not sure. I knew that. So I'm looking at people, I'm thinking, okay, now let's see where you're looking at patterns. So what I was doing is looking at, like, say, family and kids, right? Okay, now we all know we've all got attachments, right? We got to get rid of the attachments to relationships, attachments to whatever it is. Who knows? I shared the videos, you can look into them. And she's got more, which will go into great depth. It'll help many people that really want to, help themselves as well. The more work you do, the more understanding you have them, it's so much easier for you. But I couldn't see the pattern because I wasn't looking that clear. I didn't get the whole concept really. So I was looking at things, okay, well, they've got, access of things, but it was different things. I'm thinking, okay, well, where is the resonance here? Same with carnation. They're going to come in with the same thing, or karma, or whatever. You might have been, not so nice to them. They're going to come in, and be a real shite to you as your parent or child or whatever, because you were probably not so good to them, or vice versa. The last life, maybe they were really bad mother to you, or bad whatever, granny or something. So now this life, maybe, you weren't that nice to them. I don't know. These are examples. But nothing is in our experience by accident. Everything we are creating. So the fundamental, where's it come from? Without thought, it's like they say, if you get into that silence, it's like presence, right? Nothingness, that just light and, just lovely. Just light, and there's just energy, what you want to call source. That's it, nothingness. That's the essence. So peaceful, it's so loving, it's so wow. But then we have created all that. So we add on, okay, this, hate, love, passion, we got to try and simplify and clean out our closet and hold the least, Anyway, so I'm sharing those because they're very useful. And they go into more detail to know thyself and these finer things. So when you do your astrals or you do your past lives, it just makes it clearer for you to see. Hi. Yes, exactly, I know. Oh, that's exactly what happened to me. I was like, shit, that made so much sense. Because when I let go of this, I was like, and it dissolved immediately. And I was like, and I saw it dissolving, right? Because I had a really nasty past life. I was a being. Wow, I was a really nasty being. Very self-centered, everything. But that's when you're upset, when you're carrying all this shit and say what you think you're a victim, you're all very all about me. Poor me. You're very self-centered and egotistical and demanding and whatever. So many things. And then you look at this and you think, wow, it gives you a whole new perspective, and you think, it's you. So no, wow, could you imagine? Because as you say, you forget. So as we dropped in consciousness from the first time we took on the body, and I saw this in meditations. Wow, we did all this shit. We did it all, people. Because as creators, of course we did. We started all the shit and we did all this crap. We did it, everything. People think they're trapped here and all this nonsense and matrix. Well, they're creating a new one if they want to. We did this ourselves. I saw that very clearly. Many meditations. I was like, okay, so I knew we'd done all this to ourselves and everything was fine. Because you are source. So, nothing will happen to you. You're creating all this crap and playing in the Maya while you're in the Maya. In the body you play Maya, But you didn't get it. So, my goodness, we must have done some terrible things to each other. Wow. Hell. And we're going up now. So as we go up enlightening, and now you're more your wisdom and those things coming in. So you're embodying more of your real self, source, which is just light and only pure love. It's like bliss, the energy. Can't explain. Anyone to know if you're doing this, with the presence and you're being in that presence of nothingness, silence, no name, no yeah. And that is source. That's another thing that came through to me very clearly, is to accept it, because source is just I am that I be that I am. See, just an experience. Source is experience itself through us. We are source, we're just in different aspects. So one is projecting while we're in the Maya. That's why there is no hate and no judgment. We can't judge or hate or blame anybody. You see, because when we're in the Maya, it's not meaningfully, it's not intentionally. Yeah, we dropped it anyway. We all love each other, and there's only love and oneness out of the physical vessel, there's unity. It's just our perspective, yeah. But if we understand now, we can stop our own suffering. That is the key. Yeah, it is a wonderful moment, especially when you realize, gee whiz, makes love so much easier. Then you could have love and compassion for those who are doing shit things, and they're going to bring bad things to themselves, because they're spewing it out, especially now as this thing goes up. Ooh, the more they're going to draw to them, and things are speeding up. You know what I mean? So people are going to they're going to attract some really bad things to themselves. The more they think it and wish it on upon others and spew it out, not understanding everything is source. Love, judge none, have complete love and compassion. No judgment for anyone, no matter what you think they're doing wrong. You see, because there's also such a thing as karma. And whoever they're doing it to must have had some shit karma, or must have been drawing it to them. That's it. And people go, I would never do that. But it just helps. It really helps if we want to look at it. Look into this, because all your past lives and everything are not quite what you seem. People are taking it literally. Oh, I was a Pleiadian. Oh, I was a this and I was that. No, it wasn't anything else. They don't want to. Well, they haven't seen it. They were. Been so many this that they obviously haven't got to that level where they can see more. So they think, oh no, I came from that star system. I'm not anything else. No, source is. You are part of source. All of creation is just that doesn't exist. It already exists or doesn't exist, right? Source. There's no beginning or end to source. So when I go back, it goes back billions of years. We were here before Earth was formed. I'm not joking, people. So just that you at the moment haven't accessed that many past lives or other planets or other whatever things you didn't realize. You know what I mean? We go back, even the sun, and the sun's a lot older than Earth, and we were playing on that. And that was a planet and we played. That was a fascinating existence. So, no, you've been many things. You know what I mean? We work our way up, but our choices, our behavior, because in the free will, when we dropped ourselves into this, so we could see what we would do, not knowing who we were. And we didn't do some nice things, did we? Wow, I was almost in tears for humanity. I was thinking, oh my gosh, look what we have done. In our separation, we've harmed the planet in the game. Okay, it's a Maya. But we harmed everything is source. We've harmed beings, we've harmed nature, we've harmed animals, we've harmed ourselves. We've done the most horrendous things. So you know how much pain that causes us, because we are all one. We're all source. You see? No. So when you're on the Maya, don't judge, don't hate, don't blame anybody. Just have love and compassion for them, because you think, oh hell, they're doing themselves harm. If they do any harm to others, my gosh, do you know how much they're going to... And when it doesn't matter. I'm not going to go into after the body thing, but I know. It's a tough one to play, So it's a very, very good thing, as much as it is hard, and the energies and sleeping and exhaustion and but wow, it is so amazing, because it's like this has been a big clearing and a big shift that's happening in consciousness. So this has really kicked out a lot of stuff. We've got lots more coming, but it's raising us up, And it's releasing so much of this, of these patterns. It's resetting us. So humanity is not repeating the same patterns of going negativity. So look at your life and your part. If you've got access to your past lives, if you go for regression, look for the link in these lives, subtle things. Okay. Similarities, look for the similarities, storyline, behavior, theme, whatever, in your past lives. As far as that, ego, jealousy, addicted to bloody relationships or something, or who knows, whatever it is, okay. Will help you a lot. Yeah, well, no energy. Yeah, we weren't in bodies. We dropped into this. We created all of this. I saw it. Even Earth. The grid, the whole 3D, when we set up this whole thing in the dimensional space, energy, because it's a Maya, it's a dream. But how we set it up, everything, we created all this nonsense and so nothing else. We did it ourselves. We're doing it because we all out of the physical vessel, we all act as one consciousness. There's only the one unchanging consciousness. There isn't all these fractal, Yeah. Everything comes, yeah. Anyway. So don't be hard on yourselves. Love yourself because that's your family, all of them. It's all you actually together when you're not here. And love yourselves. Be easy on yourselves. Be loving and compassionate and kind to yourself. Because then the more you have it for yourself, the more you can give it to others. And does the planet need that? Wow, big time. Really does. Anyway, it was fascinating. I was thinking, wow, what an art I was. This one past life, I was like, oh my gosh. Wow. Wow, and you think of some of the things, and I'm thinking, goodness me. They're different games we played on different planets, but I remember this when we came here, and as I say, yeah, we dropped. We're going up back to non-physical vessels again. When we started playing humans, we weren't physical. We created this in the game, a physical body, the mind, the ego. We did it. Yes. And that's why I say, then all hell broke loose because we separated ourselves from source. You see, we formed this mind body, that's how we formed the separation, so we don't remember the veil, the ego. So it's just me, I'm here, and I'm whatever, bugger everybody else thing. Look what we've done. Consumerism, me, myself, I want this, I want a car, it's about want. The ego, you can never satisfy the thing, never. It's that's it. 6 cars, 10 houses, this, that, whatever, it's a woo. And then people think, oh, it's fine, but then, what about your next turn? Yeah, it's major energies coming in. Yeah, we're going back to the non-physical in this game. We'll go back to, as we raise, we know, but I don't know how long it takes, maybe a couple of 100 years, I don't know. But we do go back to needing food again, not being physical, as you see already. We're holding more light. It's up to us how fast, individually, how fast you want to ascend, or let's say reach enlightenment, or leave the human game, or whatever it is, you know what I mean? You've got to master your energy first. Yeah. That means you've got to learn to master your thoughts, as the Buddhists teach. Be aware of that mind when it's thinking when you're watching TV, it's thinking when you're walking. It's like that thing is just so busy. So the more we can quieten ourselves and stay in that, and don't give in to its blah 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 blah, little. And it's going to tell you that, and it's going to try. That's ego. It'll try and make. This is what I'm saying. That's why I say share those things about the Buddha. It gives a lot of insight into the mind or the consciousness, right? This ego. Oh no, you were bad. Feel sorry for yourself. Oh, feel guilty. Oh, shame. If anything, you start feeling shame, guilty, whatever comes up, right? You're seeing things, or your shadow's coming up. That is just the ego trying to play, and you tell it to bugger off. Tell it to take a flying hike and go, fuck off, go somewhere else. No, I'm not falling for that. Do not let it try and suck you down the pity party thing, okay? Because that is not your soul spirit. Don't judge yourself. That is ego again. Oh, look, you're not a nice person. Oh, you know, tell her to go and fly a kite. Yeah, same thing. Okay. Don't let it, even if you slip for a day, it's fine, but then get up tomorrow. Set your intention. Like before you go sleep, you can, it's like a prayer. Like you do, say you're lying in bed, right? And you set your intentions. Tomorrow I'm going to wake up, I'm going to be calm, I'm going to be peaceful, I'm going to be happy. And if you're battling, like, oh, I don't think I didn't do that. I was battling the night before. I was having shit. Because that, exactly, you know what he is like, and then I was like, okay, calm. And I was repeating again over in my head, calm, peace, calm, peace, calm, peace. So I could go sleep. Because there's a lot. You're feeling unconscious, and people were feeling anxious, this and that, fear, because you're clearing so much shit. It's being pushed out of you, and you don't want it to go, no, you're trying to resist it, you see. Then you've got the collective clearing. So you've then, as I say, put this thing around you till you pick up your strength again. You can shield yourself or ask for protection and shield, but your energy, and set that intent that you won't allow any, from the outside in. Just until while you're doing your, clearing, as you pick yours up. Anyway, there we are. Fascinating people. So I suggest you go and watch some of those videos. They have so much insight, and then the bingo light will go off and you'll be like, oh, wow. It helps you understand. You see, people think it's when they see a past life and they start, in the beginning when you first start off, you think, oh, okay, I do my past life. Oh, that was bad. Okay, forgive me for hurting you, my dad, my mother, my cousin, my this, that life, whatever, I forgive them. But you don't realize there's more to it. The pattern you're going to see, okay. Get to know who you are as the consciousness that keeps repeating millions of lives. That's the one you want to change, the eternal one. All right, that has patterns of behavior. That's characteristics, that's who you are. All right. So I've shared some of the lady Buddhist monks, nuns videos on my page. And if you go to her actual page, and you can subscribe, she's got about 3 or 4 parts in this, in getting to know the mind. And okay, so you recognize those thoughts, that ego, those characteristics, which is mine. It's mine ego, is mine arrogance, is mine this superiority, or is mine, whatever it is. Who knows? I don't know. I'm saying. And if we're not aware of them, we don't realize that they maybe creating a life we don't want. You see. Especially if you have any negativity feelings towards anything, what's happening outside, if you judgment of the government, judgment of people, hate, anger, blame, do some digging. You need to look, because that means in you haven't accepted, cleared, healed, whatever. You're not wanting to face your own, that's all it is. And there's a lot of shift. This is, I don't know, it's a lot of work, people, a lot of work. There we are. We just started, hey? We've got a long way to go, but we're getting there, and it's fantastic that we're going in the right direction, and everything's going to be good. So work on you, because it'll make you, this life and your next life, are one hell of a lot easier. Because people only think of this life. They didn't realize this is the problem. All right. And you'll be back, and that's the part. Oh, no, this is a good one. So you don't give it, you think, oh, I don't care about the next one. No, maybe not. Maybe not that simple. All right. I love you all so much. Just thought I'll share that with you. Wow, huge shifting and clearing, and you feel it's a big release. You feel it in your energy. You feel, wow, cleaner actually. So you do feel lighter, cleaner, clearer. Your energy feels clearer. And you weren't even aware it was there. All right. I'll upload this to YouTube. Don't worry. Yeah, it's giving insight into the big clearance we're doing. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Oh, did I have some darkness to face, people? Really? Wow. And I've done some shit. And it made so much sense, because I've done my regression, which was a few, but I've seen so many past lives. And some of them were like, not so good. But there was if I looked at them, quite a few of the ones that came up had a theme. They were around relationships, and I didn't see that. I just took them at that life. Oh, that was that relationship, because every life you think of a relationship. It's normal to have a relationship, or be married, or whatever else. It was more to that than meets the eye. Ew. But then before that, obviously, you had, when you were in a higher level of consciousness, then you were shaman, monks, this is interesting, because Cryon says there was no, this is going to cause shit. Now, I remember what we say is Atlantis, because it's in the collective, it's like a Mandela thing, it's in the collective consciousness. He says there was no Atlantis, there was Lemuria. It was Lemuria that sunk. But in our minds, because we all remember, we remembering it, so we think it's Atlantis, because we remember a sinking or a big catastrophe. It was actually Lemuria. There was never an Atlantis. Lemuria, Atlantis, he said it's the same thing, it's the same place. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. Yeah, interesting. But anyway, I remember that, yeah. Anyway, even before then, before when we first even came to scout the planet, before there were humans here on the planet, I remember that. Well, we went back to that. Many things. It was fascinating. All right. So there we are. We're doing some huge shifts. So that, remember, there'll be huge shifts. And so there should be some really dirt coming up. I don't know. I'm not watching it because I'm not interested. I don't want it. You don't want your consciousness to be polluted with negativity if you're not that in a strong space, because then it's going to absorb and you're going to take it on. So you've got to be careful that, so you automatically, without realizing, you're going to go, oh yeah, the government's this and they corrupted, the same negative thing you're spewing out, you see. So I'm not watching, but I'm sure if I can see what's coming out in my lives and things, and I'm like, ew, and everybody else, and I'm feeling it, I felt the collective, then I can tell you there's some dirt coming out as humanity, as a collective, you know what I mean? But yeah, anyway. And we cannot blame governments, because government is a building. It's a corporation. It's empty. They are only individuals, aspects of source, reflections of the collective. Our governments are a reflective of our collective consciousness. End of story. So we got to stop spewing blame out and look at ourselves. It's us. Okay? Because they wouldn't be there. They had to be voted in. That was our level of consciousness. We must stop blaming the past and looking back at any of it. We've got to accept our own past, all of it, because it made us who we are. And as collective, we experience it. We chose it. We cannot judge even our history. We must not stop judging any of it. Our history, our past, the collective history, anything. All right. Because we're rejecting a part of who we are. Source, everything is all that is. And that was us, and that's who we were then. We must, or different timelines, we must stop. You see? No judgment on anything. Okay? Even yourselves. You will understand. Hopefully you do. I love you. Alright, don't have any regrets, because that's the same source doesn't, because it's an experience. It made you, in this very now moment, who you are now. That's what made, all your experiences made you that. Accept who you are now, as you can't move either. You've got to accept, even if you don't like where you are now, you've got to fully accept and love it to move on. Accept, love, let it go, heal. Have love and compassion for yourself. Now you choose what I want to be in this now moment. There we are. All right. I love you all. Hang in there. You can do this week, and you've got great love and guidance. Ask for it. If you are really battling, I've been asking for it. I've been like, help me here, please. Give me a bit more guidance, please. Oh, do this. I want to sleep, please. I've been asking for a lot of help lately. See, don't be shy to ask for help. Okay, help. Help me sleep. Help me with this. Help me with the shadow. Help me with this anxiety. Help me with whatever. Help. Ask. Ask. Know that love and guidance and understanding is always for your highest good. Ask whatever you want. Be specific. Say, please help me with that. Please show me clearly. What am I stuck? What am I missing? And you will be guided. They're not going to spoon feed you, but the trips are there. Be open to receiving, and you'll be like, bingo. They'll put the piece of the puzzle there for you to see it. But you got to make the choice. You know what I mean? You got to see, oh, I'm repeating the same pattern. I'm making the same choices, bad choices. Maybe not anymore. Okay. Love you guys. Bye.